And then I will mute everyone, but if you have a question, and feel free to jump in and ask your question anytime. I love hearing your voices, so that is never a concern. So welcome everyone. So glad you made it this morning. As I wrote in the email, this class, I'm designed this class to be for mask tension relief for all of us who are wearing masks a lot, whether it's all day or even to the grocery store. It's more than we're used to, right? So we're going to work on some tips that you can do at home to help relieve tension in the head and the jaw and the shoulders and neck. And the practices that we're doing today are great if you suffer from headaches. These are great things that you can work into if you feel a headache coming on or just super tense. So again, if you have a strap or pillows, those are good to have handy. And let's begin. So if you find your comfortable seat on your mat. Oh, good morning, Kate. Welcome. Glad you made it. Find a seat, if sitting on something, to lift your bum off the floor a little bit. This just allows your spine to be nice and long and straight. And when your spine is long and straight, your lungs have more room to breathe. So that's why we always try to get sitting up on something. And your legs should be comfortable. So even if you put blankets or something under your knees, that can be a comfortable way to sit. Some people prefer to sit up on blocks, to be sitting more in this position with some blocks or pillows underneath you. So whatever works in your body to sit comfortably. Let's just allow your hands to be relaxed on your legs. Allow your eyes to close or have a gentle gaze down towards the floor. And just arrive here, Saturday morning. We all probably have long lists of things that we're hoping to accomplish this weekend. But honor yourself right now for showing up to take care of yourself this morning. Let go of the lists. And just begin to notice where your breath is landing. Begin to feel the difference of breathing in and out through your nose, rather than if you usually breathe in and out through your mouth. Breathing through your nose moves oxygen closer to the brain, which is really helpful for calming the nervous system. And begin to feel the breath move both down into your low belly, and then also on the inhale, feel the breath moving and expanding through the head. Imagine the space between the skin around the skull and the bony structure of the skull. As you bring your awareness to these different areas, imagine more space being created there. Imagine your breath could reach into the really tense areas in your jaw. And soften the holding there. Bring the breath into the muscles behind the eyes and allow those muscles to soften. Bring your breath and attention to your sinuses, moving in all different directions through your skull and your head. Imagine that your breath could bring space into the far reaches of your sinuses, up over your eyes, down through your cheekbones. And now bring your awareness to your brain. Imagine pictures you've seen of the brain, all the folds. You allow your awareness to penetrate some of the deep folds in your brain. You might start by imagining a point of light in the center of your brain, your third eye area, that radiates in all directions, bringing a sense of ease and relaxation into the far reaches of your brain. Let this attention and spaciousness now drain down from your head through all those strong muscles that hold up your neck muscles that hold up your head. Bringing relaxation down through your shoulders, your arms, fingertips. Through the chest, washing over the heart and the lungs, all the organs of your abdomen, reproductive organs, hips, down each leg, thigh, hamstring, femur bones, relax. Feeling tension and holding of the week or weeks past, draining out now through your knees, lower legs, out your feet and your toes. Sitting here in this present moment, take in these words by Dana Faulds in her poem, Being Present. Breathe, relax, and feel. Take time to slow down the pace of life. Watch the rise and fall of moods, the birth and death of dreams. Feelings and sensations seem so real, yet they shift like changing clouds and flow with the high tide out to sea again. Allow it all to be, no need to grasp or push away. Present with each moment, the whole of you, body, mind, and soul, opens to receive. So let's bring our fingertips, maybe the middle finger and index finger to your temple, and really lightly begin giving yourself a little temple massage, circling here. You might think you need to push really hard here, but can you go lightly? And we're really just now bringing sensation with our touch to that awareness and spaciousness in our heads. Allow your fingertips to drop down to your jaw area, maybe opening and closing your jaw. And massaging here, feeling for tension. Maybe dropping down below the earlobes. Kind of feeling that space between the jaw and the back, the sides of the skull. And then letting your fingertips come to the bridge of your nose, kind of near your eye sockets, and drawing a line from there across your nose, the top of your cheekbones, out the side to your temple, and circle at your temple again. These are sinus lines across the face. Anybody with sinus issue knows these well, Mary. Across, now we're coming back to the nose and we're dropping down the nose to the center of the cheek, kind of dropping below the bony part of the cheek a little bit, and then across the jaw, back up to the top of the jaw or the temple area and circling here. And then one more time, fingertips come to the bridge of the nose, either side, and dropping down now under the cheekbone, kind of feeling that whole cheekbone above our fingertips, coming across the jaw and back up to the temple. And then starting at the hairline in the middle of the forehead, let's draw a line just coming down below the hairline to the temple, circling here. And then back to the middle of the forehead. Imagining with each of these that you could create space, bring breath into these areas of our head that hold so much tension. And then just above the eyebrows, drawing a line with just the right amount of pressure, not too hard. And back to the temple. Now bringing your hands to the back of your head with your fingertips. Try to find the depression at the base of your skull. And then allow your thumbs to rest on the sides of your neck. And just with your fingers kind of gently wide across the back of your skull, without actually doing anything, can you imagine pulling your two sides of your skull away from each other, just energetically? And just breathe here, a few deep breaths. Maybe drop the chin slightly. Imagine you could bring space into this area of your skull, back of the head. And then just give yourself a massage through over the whole top of the head. Just like what little Luna and Mari loves, right? Just a little scratch here for yourself. Great, and then take a big stretch with the arms and hands come down to the side, rolling out the shoulders. Just know all of that, like that can happen at a break between meetings or visiting patients. You could just give yourself a little self massage like that anytime in your day when you needed it. So let's inhale both arms here at center, and exhale, right hand will come down to the mat and left hand will stay up high and reach over to the right. Big side bend here on the left side of the body, opening. Let's circle out this left arm. If you're having any tension in your shoulders, you can bend this elbow and make it a really small circle. Or if this feels okay in your shoulder, dropping the neck, the chin kind of comes down towards the right shoulder to really allow some opening in that left side of the neck and shoulder. Sometimes I like to kind of curl down here, and I feel the opening across the back of my shoulder blades, and then open up again like I'm a bird and I have a wing here that I'm closing and opening. When I close down, I exhaling all the air from the belly, and then inhaling, opening. Just a few more times, organic movement here on the left side. And then we'll inhale that left arm up and right arm comes to meet the left, stretching out on both sides. And then we'll exhale, left hand comes to the mat. Inhale, straight at center with the right hand in the sky, and then exhaling, side bend to the left. First, just feeling that opening in the right side. And then adding any organic movement here that works in your body. Taking really good care. This is, if you've been sitting at computers a lot, this can be a lot right here to ask of your shoulders. So go slowly. Remember, you can release some of the force of gravity by bending at the elbow here and making it a smaller movement if this is a little much. And then you might try the baby bird, opening and closing your wing here. Exhale brings you to a fold in. And inhale, sternum, heart opens. Find one spot on this side where you're like, oh my God, and just allow your neck to release. allow your shoulders to relax and just breathe into that spot. And then let's inhale up to center. Let's do that. Find that spot on the left side, just because the left side was like, hey, why didn't we get to do that on this side? Find that one spot on this side. You might have to move around a little bit. And it might just be sitting upright and turning your neck a certain way, and you light up. So if you're finding a spot that's really, really lit up, back off. Find a place where you can relax in that one spot and just let the breath do its work. Imagine the breath is like a balloon, and it can expand into the tension, the tight muscles, like a good massage. And then let's inhale everything up to center, arms reach high, and we'll exhale, we'll twist to the right, and right hand comes down behind, left hand comes to the outside of the right thigh. We'll inhale right at center, and then exhale, move into a twist, mainly through the lower abdomen is twisting here. Remember, we're being really gentle with our necks here. So the neck is the last to twist. And I actually like to bring the neck twisting in the opposite direction, looking over the left shoulder. Just a gentle gaze, not forcing it here. And then inhale, both arms reach towards center, and exhale, twisting to the left. Feeling the twist in your lower belly. And then maybe taking your gaze over your right shoulder. And then we'll inhale all to center, and exhale, hands come to center line, and moving your hands down to your heart center. Pausing here. Being present in this moment. So much about self-care is just taking the time to notice when we're really caught in stress or tension. Once we notice, we have so many choices about how we move through that. But it takes giving ourselves the gift of coming into this present moment to bring all our wisdom to the table. Exhale, hands, and then we'll move our props out of the way, coming to hands and knees in table position on the mat, and just taking a few cat and cows here, rolling the spine forward and back, and moving organically here in any way that would feel good in your body, maybe circling the hips around, maybe dropping the hips back into child's pose, and then scooting the chest through the hands like a snake coming up into cow, rolling into cat pose, back into child. Whatever would feel really good in your body to warm up the spine. And then toes will curl under. And keeping a deep bend in our knees, we'll lift our hips into downward dog. walk out our heels a little bit. And then let's take that left leg, lift it up for a three-legged dog, and bending at the left knee, make some circles with the hips here, warming up the hips. One direction and then switching directions. And then allowing that left foot to drop behind and really opening. And that left hip flexor, left psoas. Trying to keep your weight balanced between right and left hands here, so you're not putting all your weight on your right shoulder. And then let's step that left foot between the hands. You might step it forward there. And then right knee can come down. You can pad that right knee on the floor if you need to. Here. And let's just rock here in this opening of the hips here, rocking forward and back. When we're really low to the ground, it's okay if your left knee comes forward of your ankle. And then making sure that the left foot is kind of wide on the mat, towards the outside of the mat. Right hand is wide to the right side of the mat. Now the knees over the ankle. Let's take a big inhale with that left hand. Left hand reaches towards the sky. A little twist here, opening in the right hip flexor, but really nice and open in that left shoulder. And then left hand comes down to the outside of the left foot. Let's inhale here, arms lift into a knee down warrior one pose. And then we have choices here. We're going to really work on opening through this left shoulder. So you can drop that left hand behind the back and right hand comes to left elbow. And just really in this upright position here, we're looking for a feeling of opening through the underside of this left shoulder. If this is too much, other options are to just give yourself a hug right here and you're opening across, you feel that opening across the back of the shoulder blades. So breathing here, if you have your left hand behind your back, we'll inhale and then exhale. We're going to bend, side bend to the left to feel the opening on that left, then the right hip. Inhaling back to center, hands release to both sides of the left foot. And then we'll come up on the toes of the right foot and step back into plank pose. And your choice here to move through vinyasa, either moving through chaturanga with knees up or knees down, or just moving back into child's pose and resting in child's pose. If you moved through chaturanga, find your low cobra pose before meeting in child's pose. Child's pose is a great pose if you suffer from headaches. It's a great way to bring calm to the nervous system. Anytime that our brains can be lower than our hearts allows the flush of blood and energy to flush out the brain. So let's inhale, bring ourselves back to table position, toes curl under, hips lift to downward dog. Walking out the heels here in downward dog. And then we'll lift the right foot towards the sky and we'll bend the foot to the butt on the right leg and circle out the right hip, making circles in one direction and then the next. And then allowing that right foot to fall behind the body any amount. Feeling a nice opening in that right hip flexor, right psoas. Making sure the weight is evenly balanced between the hands. Inhale here and then exhale. Right foot, step, step between the hands. We'll come down onto the left knee. And just rocking here on this side, bringing some opening to that left hip. And then right foot walks towards the outside of the mat. Left hand can be tented in fingertips or in a fist. We'll inhale and the right arm lifts towards the sky. Nice big opening here, feeling it across that left hip, front of the left hip. And then we'll bring that right hand back to the mat. We'll, on our next inhale, we'll lift into warrior one pose. So feeling here, just even in warrior one, you could stay right here if shoulders are a problem, or even hands on hips. And feeling a nice opening in that left front hip, but also just feeling this opening in the chest without forcing. Notice if your ribs are jutting out, and can you pull the ribs back into alignment? And we'll drop the right hand now behind the back. Left hand finds the right elbow. And we'll inhale here and exhale, side bend to the right, feeling that opening in the left hip. If this is too much on the shoulders, remember you can give yourself a hug, this time with right hand over the left, and you can still try the side bend, but it might be just as nice to just stay upright right here. And then let's release the arms, hands move down the outside of the either side of the right foot. Coming up onto the left toes here, we'll step our way into having both feet towards the front of the mat. Nice bend in the knees, allowing hands to reach for opposite elbow. Almost feeling the whole torso resting on the thighs here. That's how bent the knees are. And let your head go. Shaking your head, yes or no. Maybe swaying from side to side. Head below heart. And then hands come to the floor or next to the sides of the legs, and just keeping a deep bend in your knees. Slow, slow, one vertebrae at a time. Find your way into standing. Head is the last to come up. And just feel yourself here in standing mountain pose. Feeling your feet on the ground. Feeling your heart awake, present. Feeling your prana, your life force. And let's clear our fields here. These have been long weeks for everyone. So much happening in the world. Let's clear it out a little bit. So on an inhale, we'll inhale arms overhead, and then hands are going to move down in front of the body very slowly, like you're moving through water, and you're clearing out any stuck, unhelpful energy from the front of your field. Moving it out. When your hands reach your hips, let's just swing the arms side to side here to just get a sense of what our energy field is. But we're so used to thinking we're just carry everything in our physical bodies, but we have this force field that we need to nourish so it can sustain us, it can protect us from all the negative energy coming into us on a daily basis. And then we'll inhale and lift our arms overhead, reaching for the sky, the sun's energy. And now we'll slowly move our hands down along the sides of our body, clearing the sides of our energy field, pushing out anything that is no longer useful. And then when you're ready, inhaling again, arms reach for new, fresh energy from the sun, the sky, and then pulling that down towards the back of our field. So hands would come the back of the head, reaching towards shoulders, and then just scoot your hands around under your shoulders to reach behind your back. And then just come up a few more swinging twists here. Just acknowledging, I mean, this whole idea of an energy field is a little out there, right, Donna? So just acknowledging that you have so many resources here, but we have to take care of ourselves so that they can help us. Okay, so let's move ourselves now. We're going to take a wide step on our mat. Feet are wide apart. Knees are nicely, softly bent here. Let's inhale at center, and then exhale, forward fold any amount. So what we're looking for here is release in the lower back. So if you can bring your hands to the floor, then, and that's comfortable for you, then you can do that. It might be comfortable to cross your arms and just let your head and neck release. You may need to change the distance of your feet to really get this sensation of release in the lower back, whatever it takes to get that. And now let your head go. Let your head really release. And feel here as you stay in this pose that with each exhale, you move a little more deeply into relaxation here and to release. Where are you holding on that you can let go? And then hands release to the floor. If it works in your body to move on our way to the floor, to move through a squat pose, if that's safe in your knees and feels good, you might move through that. If not, you can just find your way back to the floor. We'll find our way onto our backs. And on your back here, let's lift with feet flat on the floor. Let's lift the left leg towards the sky and roll out that left ankle a few times. Point and flex the left foot. And then left knee bends, and we'll bring the left ankle over the right knee. Setting up here for a figure four stretch. This might be as far as you go today. That if you're feeling enough of a stretch in the left hip here, if you have farther to go, you can inhale and lift that right foot off the floor and reach either behind the right hamstring or in front of the right shin. Breathing here. Where can you let go? Can you let go in your left shoulder where you're holding? Can you let go in your jaw? You might add some very subtle rocking here, side to side, to encourage any release that's happening to move through your body. And then your choice here, if it works in your body, to move your hands out into a T position and then just drop that left foot and right leg to the right for a twist here. The left foot might come close to the floor. If this doesn't work in your body, you can move out of that figure four position and just drop both knees to the left. Right hand can come to the outside of the left knee, and your gaze might be over your left hand. Feeling your breath reach into the left hip. And then let's inhale and slowly roll back to center, both knees to the chest. Give yourself a little hug here. And then left foot comes to the floor, right foot reaches towards the sky, and let's roll out the right ankle. Straighten and point that right foot. And then right knee bends, right ankle comes over the left knee. Take a minute here to feel both sides of the pelvis on the floor, allowing your sacrum to release before you inhale and lift that left foot off the floor. Hands come behind the left hamstring. And then go through your body scan. Where can you let go here? Wiggle the right toes to remind you to relax in the right foot. Maybe adding some rocking side to side here. Remembering to breathe into the tight places. And then hands can release and come out to the sides. And your choice here, if it's safe in your low back, to move into a twist in this leg position, you can drop the legs to the left. And the left hand can come to the right knee, gaze comes over the right shoulder, or if that doesn't feel safe, then uncross the legs and find a twist that's safe in your body. If you're having a lot of sensation in the lower back, it may be feet on the floor, dropping the knees to one side or the other, or knees to chest and dropping both knees to the left. Feeling the expansion and invitation of new, fresh energy on the inhale. And the exhale brings release and a flushing out of old, unuseful, toxic energy. And then inhaling both knees to center here. Give yourself another hug. And your choice here, you can move yourself right into your Shavasana of choice, or you can watch how I'm going to set up for a restorative pose that can be our relaxation pose. So I have a couple of pillows here. My pillows are pretty big. I have 2 pillows. If you have a bolster, you could use a bolster. I have 2 pillows and a blanket. And I'm putting my blanket on my top pillow. And you'll also want, if you have a few other pillows or blocks, you'll want something possibly for under your knees. So I'm going to just set it up, and you guys take your time, no rush here. This is relaxation after all. So I'm sitting with my feet pulled in this cobbler's position, and that's where the blocks or pillows or other blankets come in handy under the legs, and any height that works for you. If you know that this position is just not going to be comfortable for you, you can have your feet wide on the mat and your knees knocked in towards each other, or just out long, maybe with a blanket or something under the knees. But I'm going to guide it this way to start. So I'm pulling this first pillow right up close to my bum, and then I'm going to lie back on the other pillows, and I'm going to pull the blanket right up to my shoulders. So my head has got really nice support. And then I might find, oh, I actually have to move those knee supports a little bit so that they're under my thighs or something. So if you have something to put over your eyes, like an eye pillow or a shirt or a towel, that might feel really nice to you. The point here is to just allow the chest and heart to open and the head to feel very supported. So if you're uncomfortable at all, do whatever it takes to make yourself feel more comfortable. Hands can be comfortably on the belly or maybe just off the side, palms facing up. This is a really nice position to feel the breath in the belly. Allowing the brain to soften with gravity. Muscles behind the eyes. The sinuses feel the pull of gravity, letting go. The muscles of the jaw, the skull, the neck. Let everything go. Beginning to feel your breath bring you back into this moment. You can choose to stay here in this restorative pose or bring some movement into your fingers, maybe rolling out your wrists, and your toes. If your knees are out to the side in cobbler position, bring your hands to the outside of your knees and very gently bring your knees back towards each other. Maybe bring your knees in towards your chest for a little hug, releasing your back. And then rolling off of your pillows to one side, pausing in a fetal position before moving back into a seated position. Taking your time, no rush here. Allowing your eyes to stay closed or softly open. Feeling your presence here in this moment. Breathe, relax, and feel. Take time to slow down the pace of life. Watch the rise and fall of moods, the birth and death of dreams. Feelings and sensations seem so real, yet they shift like changing clouds and flow with the high tide out to sea again. Allow it all to be. No need to grasp or push away. Present with each moment. The whole of you, body, mind, and soul, opens to receive. Bringing your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, thumbs touching sternum. Allow your chin to drop towards your heart, honoring your heart. The bright light within me honors the bright light within each of you. Namaste.